Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
Okay, I'm going to share with you something which either you'll believe or you'll not believe, but either way, it's up to you. Uh, but my, but my request is see the wisdom in the conclusion. Okay, I don't expect you to believe. The reason being is I myself find it very hard to believe the story that was told to me. Okay. Now, obviously, I've taken permission from the client. Okay. Okay. So this guy books a session with me, but his condition is he's not going to show me his face on video. I say, fine. For me, what do I care? You want to show? You don't want to show? As long as you pay the money and I can deliver the service. So he said, we will only chat on audio, but I will send you the link and everything. I said, fine, whatever. Normally I send the Zoom link. He wanted to send the Zoom link. Okay. And he said, I need you to keep your video on. So I said, you want me to keep my video on? He said, yes. So I said, why? He's saying, so that you don't record the conversation. I said, I'm not going to record. Said, okay, I take your gentleman's word on it. But he needs to see me on video. I said, fine. I have no issues. So then we began and all that. And I said, so what would you like me to call you? Saying, you choose whatever you want. I was like, oh, okay, mysterious man. So I said, okay, I'll call you Mark. So go ahead, Mark. So I was like, this is more like a FBI, CIA, secret thing. He's saying, yeah, I'm very particular about my identity. Okay. Yes, some people are. So he said, would you believe me if I told you I was almost a billionaire? I said, you can be whatever you want, billionaire, millionaire, zillionaire. You can be a member of the royal family. I've spoken to a couple of such personalities. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. It doesn't matter to me. But what is it that you want from me? Saying, I just want to share something with you and want your perspective. I said, go ahead. Okay, now this guy, I don't know whether he was using a voice synthesizer or whatever, but he came across very crisp and very he was not one of those guys who was chirpy and all that. I would say he's definitely slow, very slow talking. Okay, what we started off with a 1 hour session ended up being 3 hours because he would speak very slow. Okay, so the long, the gist of his whole story was, the gist of his entire this thing was, he once had everything, like he said, billionaire. He had a wife, he had a kid or kids, no? Can't even remember because so many details. He's saying I had kids, a kid. Okay, say I'm getting old. Then what? Yeah, so he had kids, property, he had a business, he had investments, and okay. And one fine day, this is before COVID started, one by one he started to falter on things and issues, and he just didn't give me specifics, but bad investments, bad decisions, bad friends, bad, whatever. He had also some vices. And lo and behold, one by one, he lost everything. Now, it's not that he's gone to the dogs, he still has money, but he lost everything. Now, the part which really got to my head was he said that after I lost everything, something, you know, I lost something inside of me. Like, I use this phrase sometimes, something in me died. So he said something inside me was no longer there. And then he started to say, he asked me, have you ever sat alone and not talked to anyone and just stayed quiet? I smiled when he said that. I said, yeah, I have done that and I do that sometimes. I sit alone and there's no music, there's nothing. I just don't want noise. He said, yes. He's saying, I've been sitting like that for many years now. No music, no noise. So I said, you don't listen to any kind of music? He said, once in a while, maybe something classic or love songs, but I prefer instrumental but I want silence. I said, okay. He's saying, I do a lot of meditation. I said, yeah, so that kind of makes sense. Why do you talk so slow? You talk like you are at like some inner peace retreat or something. He said, yes, I've been to those also. So I said, are you some kind of sannyasi or, like hermit? He said, no, I'm normal. So I said, go on. So he said, I sit alone. I live alone. I don't have any friends. I don't want to keep any friends. I don't keep in touch with my relatives. I'm just alone. I asked him, like, what do you do now? He's saying, I have some small ventures here and there. As he started to unravel all these things, I was just listening to a guy who. Have you met someone, like, for example, have you met a person who, when they talk, there's always that deafening silence at the end, you know? Like he was talking and there's silence. Talking and there's silence. And like he he had asked me, do you have a meaning of life? I said, yeah, just to be happy. Okay. I asked him, what is your meaning of life? Saying, I don't know. I said, oh, okay. You don't know. He's saying, do you? I said, yeah, to be happy, right? Saying, okay. So it was a very, I don't know, strange kind of conversation where before I felt like I was taking his interview, and then later it started to feel like he's taking my interview. And as we kept talking, he shared with me like how before, when he had money and he had success, he was busy, there was so much of noise, so much of activity, going to the gym, uh, you know then going for different sports, tennis, volleyball, basketball, and different sports once a while, and going outside, traveling, being on yachts, going to parties, networking, clients, shaking hands. He also shared with me, some photographs of him with some big celebrities, obviously his face, and he asked me to delete it, which I did. So big celebrities and big this, big that. There were some like 4, 5 he did share. I was like, oh, okay, big. I don't know if he photoshopped or something, but anyway, they were big. So from all that, now he was totally silent and totally quiet. And so I asked him, like, what have you learned in life? What is your words of wisdom? If you could teach someone something, or maybe write a book, what would you say to the world? He kept quiet and, like an Osho kind of thing. No? He said, nothing. So I was like, nothing. Okay. I said, you do sound a bit like Osho. I told him, sound a bit like Osho, And he just laughed a little. Not like, ha ha ha, like, just gave that. And then he asked me, he said, Loy, you are so successful, or at least you show that you are. You are happy with the family life, or at least you show you are living in Thailand, whatever. Okay, always. He's saying, what is the difference between Loy, who had nothing, okay, versus now? He apparently went through all my videos. He knows that 2011 suicide video of mine. I took a deep sigh, like, what is the difference? I said, that time I didn't have anything to live for. I didn't even know why I wanted to live. And I just told him I was just thinking of what, like, not even what's next, like what. You just go blank. Saying, yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm going through. I said, you haven't found it? So he told me, no. He's saying, you went through that phase and then you decided to go back to finding your reason. Then you went back to the world and now you have a family and wife and kid. And he's saying, but what's the difference between that and this? So I told him, there was nothing. It was empty. It was silence. There was no noise, no music. Saying, yes. I said, oh, okay. I said, are you, then I asked him, are you like taking my interview, or are you someone I know? I asked him all these questions. He's saying, yeah, we feel that we know each other, right? I said, yeah. He's saying the reason being is, just like you, even I tried to end it all. I didn't see any reason. I didn't find any purpose because I had everything and now I have nothing that I wanted. And now it is just at what? Every day. So I asked him, like, are you financially like destroyed or something? He said, no, I have enough. I can manage. But it's nothing like before. It's nothing like those days. And then, just slowly asked him, what about your family? And say, I'm in touch with no one. Okay. It was one of the strangest conversations I have ever had. Once a while you have conversations that, you don't forget. This was one of them. To my shock and surprise, it went for 3 hours. He paid me. And he also said, I know you have a habit of sharing the core essence of what you discuss without sharing identity. But just make sure that you only share, just few bits. I said, yeah, I'll never share your identity, never share the details. That is a given. So I know. He knows because apparently he went through all my videos and did a lot of research about me. I don't know how many years, but if he has seen my 2011 video, that's nearly, if he has been following me from that time, nearly 10 years. Anyway, it was a deep conversation. At times I felt as if I was talking to myself. At times, I felt he was taking a session with me. Hmm. So, what are the lessons from here? In fact, after we finished our conversation, I'll tell you it's very strange. I sat down in total silence and I reflected on so many things. I reflected on my life before versus now, money before versus now, before no relationship, now wife and kid, before India, then UAE, now Thailand. It's funny, right? When we have things to do, when there are activities, when there is money, when there's a career, when things are working our way, we're just so busy and we keep doing. There's no end to it. In fact, one of the things, powerful things that he told me, which really struck me, was he doesn't listen to music. I asked him, "Do you listen to podcasts?" He said, "For what?" Saying, "What will they teach me?" I said, "Okay." He did tell me that he listens to the teachings of Swami Vivekananda. So I got Swami Vivekananda, and he listens to a bit of Osho and all that. But podcasts, no, and all that, no. Kind of the spiritual stuff. I said, no, I'm not listening to much of that. I asked him, Sadhguru? He said, come on. He's saying, I don't listen to recycled talk. Apparently, he's not a very big fan of Sadhguru. So, it kind of made me realize that I think we don't live in silence anymore. We don't have times in our lives where there's just no noise, where there is no stimulation, nothing. We're constantly either listening to something, seeing something. In the 3 hour conversation that we had, there were moments of just silence. Like, at first it was uneasy, but then I think I got used to it. Maybe because I used to meditate before a lot. Like, I knew he was there, he was watching me, and we would just start off with something. The only takeaway I can give you through this is, I think maybe, maybe we need to be silent sometimes, just quiet, no stimulation, no nothing. Like, see, right now the wind is there, and like he told me that after his wife, his kid, everyone left him, he would sit in a room alone, silence, not sleep, but sit and meditate. Obviously, he has been doing this for a couple of years, because he told me I can even meditate for 3 hours, like, silence. Okay. I asked him what are his goals and all that. He said nothing. No goals, no nothing. Okay. Funny, right? Funny that you speak to an individual who had everything, and now it's not that he has nothing. He has enough, but he doesn't want to buy anything, doesn't want to go anywhere, doesn't want to do anything. One thing I could relate was I could sense pain, intense pain, but pain that he doesn't want to let go, if that's the right word, or forget. But he has kept it there. It's like Iron Man, you know, when you put that fuel and it fuels you, but at the same time it destroys you because it's not good. So the anger, the pain, whatever betrayal, whatever he went through, kept it there. Hmm. Doesn't have social media, doesn't have a name. Strange. When I asked him about what do you think of crypto, what do you think of world markets, he said nothing. It's like, okay. The funny thing is, instead of crypto, politics, and all that, he was asking me, like, what do you like to eat? Okay. He spoke to me of what do you like to cook? Like tea or coffee. You know, like, he found so much of joy in discussing how do you make coffee. I'm like, yeah, this is what I do. And he's saying, you really don't know how to make coffee. So I said, oh, yeah, yeah. Definitely. I just make. He's saying, it's an art. It seems that he went for coffee, this barista thing. He went for training to learn how to make coffee. And it seems the Japanese have a way of making tea. And I don't know. Like, he's saying even cooking is an art. He took cooking lessons. It's kind of nice, you know. You have so much money that you can learn whatever skill you want. And he also practices minimalistic training, you know, like minimalistic lifestyle. He buys only what he wants and uses, and doesn't keep anything more. So this is a very strange conversation. Very, very strange. It was one that you have one of these rare, very rare conversations that you just never forget. I've met lots of weird, strange people in my life, like spoken, chattered, from fighters to mafia members to jailed convicts to politicians and rich people, and not A-list celebrities, B and C, porn stars, and then there are these bizarre ones where you really wonder, like, is this guy real? You know? Well, for me, it was very real. He paid my money. Why should I complain? He paid my money. Very strange. Very, very strange. So strange that that silence is ringing in my ears. You know? So, if nothing else, I would say the one thing that he did leave me with is silence, sitting in silence, meditating, not thinking anything, not associating life with success or life with greatness, or not stimulating yourself with social media or news, or just nothing. You know? It was very powerful. A long time since I had such a session. It's like I had such a session. A very deep character. Like they say, either you can be the world's greatest saint or you will be the world's greatest criminal. This guy kind of reminded me of that saying. Someone who is so deep and mature definitely has been through the extreme side. A very mysterious character. Very mysterious. But yeah, the thing that impressed me the most about him was not his, okay, I was a billionaire or whatever. But what his the thoughts that he shared with me of what he is today. It was a very interesting conversation. And I think what makes it more interesting is the fact that I've not seen his face. I do not know who is he. It's like if you could put a face, yeah, you have something to see. But if you don't have a face, it's just imagination. No? It was a good conversation. And I don't know, I felt I needed it more than he needed it. And what did we conclude? I think that part I'll leave out. We concluded something, and that's for me to think. It's more of me to do and practice rather than to share and say. Anyway, I don't know what are the key learnings you have taken, if you have taken, but if you have, just put them down below. Let me know. But for me, these are one of those rare moments where you don't forget. Maybe he was an alien from outer space, or maybe the future Loy, time machine, interstellar. Possible. The future Loy speaking interstellar. That's a good way of looking at it. Time travel. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Bizarre video, right? Yeah. Then you can imagine how bizarre I felt. Anyway, thought I'll share this. You guys take care. Ciao.